Hi, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Hotcakes, our 1963 vintage Shasta. This is an SCS model, which means self-contained with a shower. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. You can check out how we got here by checking out the other videos, which I've linked in the description. One would be going up to Northern California to pick up Hotcakes and bring her home. Another one would be on the way down. It just so happened to be the Vintage Trailer Rally at Pismo Beach, and so we stopped in and we tour a lot of the trailers that were there. It's a really fun video, so go check that out. And then also there will be a series of repairs that go on. The video previous to this one will be repairing the wheel well, which was severely damaged in a previous incident, and also the tongue jack or the crank in front of the trailer was also frozen. That needed to be repaired. We took care of that. And today we tackle another one of the projects, and that is the soft spot in the floor. As you can see, some of the VCT tiles or the square tiles that were put down on this floor, not original to the trailer, have been taken off or have probably fallen off due to the floor damage here. The plywood of the floor has become delaminated a little bit here, and it does have a couple of soft spots. If I stand on it, it's okay up here. Normally, when you have this kind of a floor damage right in the middle of the trailer, it's because the vent leaks, and there are no leaks on this vent, and I am so glad about that, because 99% of trailers that you find on the used market have had or have severe damage to the roof. There is none of that here, so I will not be having to do that. It could have come from the bathroom, the wheel well that needed to be repaired because it had a hole in it. Whatever the case, it's only soft here and here. Now there is a support underneath running straight through here, so it's pretty solid here. There's another support that runs here and here. So what I'm going to try and do is brace it from the underside so that we take care of the soft spot without having to rip up the floor. And then with these delaminated areas, I may be able to get some epoxy in there and weight it down and get it to adhere to itself again. And then we'll go ahead and put brand new flooring over it. I found a roll of linoleum, a full roll on Craigslist. I got it for a screaming deal, and it's light blue with some black and dark blue speckles in it. I think it'll go great in her motif of blue and white. And so now that we've checked out what it looks like on the inside, let's go see what it looks like from underneath. So in order to have enough room underneath or in the back, I'm going to lower the front end, and that'll raise it up. Okay, well, as you can see, there's already a lot of this protective floor missing. This is just a barrier basically for water and any other elements to protect the plywood flooring. Not sure why this chunk has come off, but it just happens to be in the right spot to check out the floor. Here's the support that runs underneath the two soft spots. So this side right here, I can see is a little soft, and then it's going to be soft probably about here. So I'm just going to need to remove a little bit more of this in order to get access to it. And then we're going to take care of some of these little spider eggs too. We've got some spiders in here. One of them's got a spiky egg sac, and we know that that means black widow. Okay, so I've cleared the protective layer back to the metal support, and reaching in here I can see I've got a little bit of the soft spot here. This is the bigger part here, and I can see that that's moving. So I should be able to brace this up using this and this and this. So I'm going to be able to probably block in a piece of thick plywood here and here using this as a ledger to screw the supports to. That's my initial thoughts. There's a natural seam right here between the two, so I'm probably going to take a little bit of this off so that I can get on both sides of this metal support and really make it just really sturdy. Bye-bye. Got a couple of pieces cut. This is 3/4 inch plywood, so it's going to be nice and sturdy. Then I custom cut these pieces here. They are just big enough to fit underneath the frame here, so that will give you that a really good brace. They'll also be screwed off, so it's just really going to support that soft spot on the floor. So let's get started here. Should have worn my glasses. I cut them a tiny bit large, like by a 1/16 of an inch, because I really want to just jam these things in here and give this just so much support from the bottom. Not a lot of room to get around in here. And I keep insisting on wearing this hat under here. It just keeps getting in the way. Okay, that's what I like to call trailer yoga. This one's really tight because of this gas line here. What we're gonna do is, since it's too long, we'll pull out the magnetic part and then just go with the bit itself. That should give us enough room. All right, let's go inside and see if this works. And I really hope it does. Come with me. Let's get out of here. Did I mention it was called trailer yoga? Right, well, it's looking pretty good. It's feeling solid here. Let's give it the double foot test. Oh, that is super solid. There's a little bit of flex, but it's only these top layers that have delaminated. I could not be more thrilled with how this turned out. No soft spots at all. The next thing to do is to remove all of this VCT tile, and first we'll remove the trim that was cut for it, save it, because once I'm done, I'll have all the trim I need, cut to size, and ready to go. So we'll probably do a little time lapse on this one, just because it's going to take a little bit. Okay, I'm stopping the time lapse here because this is kind of ridiculous. I had hoped that these tiles would come up a little easier, but they were put on with something that I don't even know. It's still tacky, and every piece, I'm going to turn the camera around here so you can see this. Every time I go to pull up some of it, it just chips off tiny little pieces that are still stuck. Then they stick to the pry bar, and yeah, this is gonna be a lot more than I bargained for. So this was my initial experience with this VCT tile. Just from walking on it, it was just sort of peel right up. And you know, I was really really hoping that that was going to be the case all the way through. I'm gonna keep going and see how much of it I can get up like this. Hopefully a lot of it will come out, and this is just a sticky spot, but not banking on that too much. My plan was to probably put a bit of a subfloor on here, probably just an 1/8 inch of plywood. Given the delamination, there's a little more than I thought, so I was going to put in a little bit of a subfloor and then roll the tile over it. It also turns out that the quarter round that was put in to trim the edges of the VCT tiles when they were put in isn't actually wood, and there was an excess of glue. Maybe it was caulked in when they were nailed down, but they are coming out in tiny little pieces. So I won't be using those. And bright side is that I am running into some really good luck, at least in the next couple feet here that I've done of the VCT tiles, where they are just kind of popping out. So I'm going to roll with that. I hope that continues, and just I'm going to power through it. I'm going to remove all of these tiles, and then I'll put the subfloor in. And here is the finished or unfinished product. All done. Got a few of the scraps of what was left of the trim to just clear out of here, but not bad. So this was a bit of the best case scenario. The hardest part that I had was the very first part that I started on, and it was, for whatever reason, stickier than the rest of it. The other stuff came out really easy. It took maybe 30-45 minutes or so to get it all out, but it's done, and that's where I'm going to call it for today. I'll probably pick this up in a couple of days, putting the flooring back in, because off on another adventure, which you can bet will be on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, don't miss a thing. I will see you. It'll probably be a matter of seconds on this video, but it'll probably be a couple of days in real life. So I'll see you when I see you. Well, we're back. It's been a couple of days now, and we are looking to put the new floor in. And what that looks like is just a lot of cleaning up, which was too boring to film. So let's go inside, take a look at what we got so far, and map out where we're going to go. Well, you can see we're all cleaned up here, and kind of got down to the bare bones of what the floor is, and we can really see what it needs. All of the tile has been scraped up and cleared away, and our problem area right here is now also clear. Previously there had been some staples put in here to kind of keep these lifted parts down. It's just one single bit of the ply that's been delaminated. So how we're going to handle that is we're going to put in a little bit of a subfloor, but 1/8 inch plywood just over the top. It's going to take care of all of these irregularities, high spots of glue, and also these waves in the plywood. It'll create a nice smooth area for us to then lay out the vinyl in one sheet. Hopefully I'm going to cut a pattern that will fit this exactly. It's just a lot easier all the way around, because you don't have any cracks that dirt can get into, and over time separate them, lift them. It's easier to clean, sweep, everything is just easier about it. So that's what we're going with. So let's get started on that. One big phase of the flooring is done. The floor was scraped from old glue and pieces of flooring. There were some staples that were in there that were removed, and the subflooring is in right now. And we've got those pieces cut. That's huge. Now it's time to get the one piece of linoleum cut. There are a lot of notches and things for this. This is going to be a bit of a challenge to get it cut in one piece and get it fit in here. So the challenge will be cutting the flooring so that it's one piece with these notches that we have. It flares out on either side, and then as we come into the kitchen, there's another corner that it rounds here. So I'll cut off a piece that's as wide as the doorway through to the closet, the widest bit, and then I'll cut in the notches as I go. And once I get it in here, I'll probably fine tune it with some cuts to get it to lay into place. We'll cross our fingers on this one, because it'll be a little bit tricky. The one thing we need to do before getting the linoleum on here is that we screw this to the floor, patch those screw holes, and then patch the seams. Then we're good to go. All set. I'm really happy with how this turned out. We'll sand it down a tiny bit after it dries, and then it's time for the last phase, and that is the blue linoleum. Cannot wait. So here is the linoleum roll. It is a full roll and it is heavy. I'm gonna guess it's about 300 pounds. So this isn't gonna be easy. It's hard enough just to move. I'm gonna try and unroll it where it is, cut off the big rectangular piece that I need, and then get it out into the yard, and then I can kind of trim it down and then haul it inside, hopefully not ripping it at the corners because it has potential to do that, and then do some final trim cuts while I'm in there. So it's a process, but let's get it started. All right, I got the main L shape, which is the entryway here that I'm sitting in, and the long hallway to the end of the door. So right now I have this piece cut oversized so that I can roll it out and then sort of taco shape it, get it tucked in on the sides, and then cut all of the angles that I need to cut. The issue that can arise in cutting linoleum and manipulating linoleum is that at the inside of those 90-degree cuts, it can tear. You lift it, move it wrong way, it can tear, and I don't want that. So I've got to be super careful with this cutting, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get started on this, taking it nice and slow, and we will hope that I don't make any mistakes. So already I can tell this linoleum is perfect. It's great. I love the pattern, the color. You know, it's busy. So if you're camping and you get a little dirt tracked in, it's not going to be super huge, but it's going to be really pretty. It really goes with the theme of this blue on the trailer. So I'm going to fit this into the corner here. I've cut it long so that it hangs over here so I can notch in and do whatever I need to here. More is better than less. And then I will roll it out, and then I'm going to have to cut that notch. And then I'm gonna have to cut that notch, and it'll be just smooth sailing, hopefully, till the end. Hopefully being the key word there. Always cutting things a little bit large. See, this is laying up onto this cabinet here. So I'm going to start with that much. Better, but it's still hanging up, so I'm going to cut a little bit more. So the entrance into the hallway, pretty good. Got that set in, got it cut around the door. The cut to the corner was just right. The problem that I'm seeing is that the doors stick out farther. The heater sticks out farther. So what I would have liked to have done was kind of roll it out as I go, notching it as I go, but I can't because the roll is so thick that it won't go past the doors. Well, I can take the doors off of here to get it to go right up against the cabinet. The heater's another subject. So what I'm gonna do is try and unroll it where it's at and then taco it a little bit and get it all the way down here and then work my way back, notching as I go. We're improvising here, folks. Again, fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Let's see if this works. Don't rip. Please don't rip. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, it's working. It's working, it's working, it's working. Okay. Okay. Thank you to the trailer gods. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna cut this notch. So I'm cutting it long again because this is all going away, so I can afford to cut it even out here. And that's what I'm gonna do for this first notch, and then I can just keep cutting it as I go. So I'm gonna take it down to just short of the floor where I need it because I don't wanna go too far. Okay, now that I've got this, I'm gonna measure. I need 35 and a half. 35 and a half, so right about here. So I'm gonna take it down to here. And I cut it a little bit off. I got it at the corner, I cut the angle in too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and slice a little bit like this. Okay, let's see how that did. Okay, so that's getting in there. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. And we get the 1/4 inch trim, 1/2 inch trim in here. That's going away. This is where we don't want to rip right here. I'm going to try and get in there, but not roll it too much. Just get there. There. Okay. Okay, it's a little big, and that's fine. I can come back and trim that. Okay, so I found, the blade has found its way underneath this cabinet here, and that's good. So as long as I can keep this pushed in, I think I can just, it'll guide me as to where I need to cut. But I gotta keep enough material pushed down in there. If it rides up and I cut, then it's gonna be too short. So one cool advantage I am gonna have with this is that I don't have to get an exact cut on these. Not so much on the front corners because they're hooked to these cabinets, but as we cut farther back along the trailer, I'm able to loosen these and lift these up a tiny bit. So I'll be able to actually cut these a little bit long and then just tuck them underneath, which is gonna look really nice. And that's what I'm gonna go for here. Pardon my butt. Okay, so I've started to tuck the leading edge of the vinyl downward, and I'm hoping to lift this up and have it just kind of slide right under the bunket here. So let's see how this works. Nice, very nice. I'm a very happy camper right now. Well, that was quite the wrestling match on a hot day inside a hot trailer, but I think I'm the winner on this one. Let's have a look at this. This is great looking flooring, and I'm so super excited for this job. I hope that if any of you have a project like this helps you out as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this video, and go ahead and like this video. And there's another trailer here too, so we got more trailer stuff coming, and we got a lot of more other stuff coming that's just super fun. So subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon.